11,600 years ago, someone built the most advanced stone temple the world had ever seen. Pillars weighing 10 tons each, carvings precise enough to suggest tools we do not believe existed yet. A structure that predates the wheel, predates writing, predates agriculture by 2,000 years. And then they buried it. Not destroyed, not abandoned, buried under 500,000 cubic meters of fill, by hand, deliberately, by the same people who built it. Mainstream archaeology has no answer. They call it ritual burial and move on. But that phrase explains nothing. So tonight, we are going to ask the question they will not. Who buries a masterpiece? And what are they burying now? Göbekli Tepe sits on a limestone ridge in southern Turkey. German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt began excavating in 1995. What he found broke the timeline of human civilization. 20 enclosures, hundreds of pillars, each one quarried from solid bedrock, shaped into a precise T-form, dragged hundreds of meters, and erected with engineering tolerances that match structures built thousands of years later. The carvings are not crude. They are anatomically accurate, layered in relief, executed by people who supposedly had not yet figured out how to plant wheat. This temple is 6,000 years older than Stonehenge, 7,000 years older than the pyramids, built by hunter-gatherers who, according to every textbook, lacked the social organization, the tools, and the mathematics to do any of this. But they did it, and the evidence is sitting in a Turkish hillside. The construction is not the mystery. The construction is the proof. The mystery comes next. Around 8000 BCE, the people who built Göbekli Tepe made a collective decision. They covered it, all of it, 500,000 cubic meters of fill. To picture that, imagine 1,300 Olympic swimming pools of soil and stone and bone, hauled by hand, packed into every chamber, around every pillar, until nothing remained above the surface. This was not erosion. Erosion does not fill chambers uniformly. Erosion does not pack soil between pillars with deliberate care. The fill was placed, layer by layer, over generations. Schmidt himself confirmed it. The site was not lost to time. It was hidden by the same hands that built it. And here is where the official explanation collapses. Archaeologists call it ritual burial. 2 words. No mechanism, no motivation, no precedent in the region, no surviving oral tradition, no comparable practice anywhere on Earth at that scale. Think about what that label is asking you to accept. A culture spent centuries building the most important structure in their world, then spent more centuries dismantling its visibility, by choice. People do not bury what they love. People bury what they are afraid of, or what they have been told to. 600 kilometers northwest of Göbekli Tepe, across the Anatolian Plateau, lies Derinkuyu, an underground city carved 18 stories deep into volcanic rock. Ventilation shafts, stable rooms, wineries, capable of housing 20,000 people. Discovered in 1963 by a man knocking down a wall in his basement. A city large enough to hide a population, sealed, forgotten. Found by accident, no records, no mention in any surviving text from any neighboring civilization. As if someone, again, decided this should not be seen. Then there is Roman concrete, a formula that allowed harbor structures to stand for 2,000 years in salt water, stronger today than when it was poured. The recipe disappeared with the collapse of Rome. Modern engineers only began reverse engineering it in 2017, a material that healed itself. Lost for 1,500 years. And in 1951, the United States passed the Invention Secrecy Act. Today, over 5,000 patents remain classified under it. Solar technology, energy storage, propulsion systems. Inventions submitted to the Patent Office, then locked away. The inventors are legally forbidden from discussing what they discovered. Göbekli Tepe in 8000 BCE. Derinkuyu, sealed and forgotten. Roman concrete, vanished. 5,000 modern inventions, classified. Different eras, different technologies. Same outcome. Knowledge appears. Knowledge disappears. Always by decision, never by accident. Return to that hilltop in Turkey. Some of the final carvings made before the burial show something specific. Pillar 43. Vulture Stone. A headless figure. Vultures circling. Scorpions arranged in patterns that do not occur in nature. In 2017, researchers at the University of Edinburgh ran the symbols through astronomical software. The animals on that pillar correspond to constellations. The arrangement corresponds to a specific date. 10,950 BCE. The moment a comet swarm struck the Earth and ended the last ice age. The headless man is not symbolism. It is a casualty count. The vultures are not decoration. They are the sky on the night the world burned. Göbekli Tepe was not buried because they grew bored of it. It was buried because it remembered something, a record of what the sky can do, a warning carved in 10-ton stone, and then hidden by the only people who survived to write it. We are told to call it ritual. We are told the question of why is unanswerable. We are told to accept that the most sophisticated structure of its age was hidden by its own creators for reasons that, conveniently, no archaeologist needs to explain. But the burial itself is the message. Someone, 11,600 years ago, decided this knowledge should not be visible. Someone decided the same thing about Derinkuyu, about Roman concrete, about 5,000 patents sitting in a vault in Virginia tonight. The pattern is not coincidence. The pattern is policy. Göbekli Tepe is not a mystery about construction. It is the oldest known case of deliberate knowledge suppression. Someone made the decision to bury it. Someone made the same decision about every example we just covered. The question isn't what they buried 11,000 years ago. The question is what they're burying tonight.